What's up everybody, this is Rob with Wonstar Reviews. Today we're coming to you live from my office. We're going to check out the latest phone from the OnePlus family, the OnePlus 5T. Now I've had this phone for about a month now, and I'm going to tell you, this is the best phone you're going to get for 500 bucks. So without further ado, let's get on with the review. Alright, so let's talk about the specs for just a second. Now this thing has a 6-inch display, 401 ppi, 2160 by 1080. The OS is running Android 7.1.1 Nougat, and it's got the Oxygen OS skin on top. CPU's got an 8-core Qualcomm Snapdragon 835. You got two choices for RAM. You got the 6 gig and the 8 gig. The 6 gig is going to come with 64 gigabytes of storage. The 8 gig is going to come with 128 gigabytes of storage. And there's no expandable memory. All right, this is strictly a GSM device, so if you have CDMA, you're running Sprint, it's not going to work for you. This also has USB Type-C, and it also has a 3.5mm headphone jack, which I appreciate. This phone comes with a 3,300 milliamp battery, and it starts at $499 for the 6 gig version. It's going to be $559 for the 8 gig version. And some other things that it has is 3-position physical notification mode switch, fingerprint sensor, notification LED, and dual SIM slots. Okay, now I'm going to talk about some of the things I do like about the phone, and then we're going to talk about some of the things I don't like. Now the first thing I like about this phone is the display. Great colors, it's beautiful. The phone that I had before this was a Moto X Pure Edition, and it doesn't even compare. So that had a 5.7-inch screen. This one's got a 6.0, and it's pretty much bezel-less from edge to edge. Got a little bezel up the top for your front-facing camera and your microphone, and on the bottom, minimal bezel. It's kind of hard to see in this situation. All right, the second thing I like about this phone is the facial unlock. I didn't think I was going to use that much, but I use it every day. All right, so let's check it out. You see how fast this thing is. When I unlock the phone, now you do have to press the power button first before you get the facial unlock. So when I hit it, all right, so we don't see a whole lot right there, so that's without the facial unlock. Now, when I have my face in front of it, let me see if I can do this behind the camera. See how quick that was? Let me do that again. See how quick that was? That's actually the facial unlock working. Okay, so that's one of my favorite features on the phone. Now, it's not as secure as your Samsung's and your iPhone 10, but for everyday use, man, it's fast. Look at that, right behind the camera. Simple, smooth. All right, the next thing I like about this phone is the fingerprint sensor. Now the OnePlus, the 5, had the fingerprint sensor on the front. This year they decided to go bezel-less, put it in the back. And I'm telling you, this thing is fast. So let me show you real quick. I'll tell you when I tap it, and you can see how fast it turns it on. Watch this. All right, here we go. Tap. Whoa, what's going on? Tap. All right, let's try it again. Tap. Pretty fast. Okay, and I got it set up to do both fingerprints over here on the right side and the left. All right, the next thing I like about the phone is the gestures. The gestures are insane. Let me show you where that is real quick on here. Gonna head down here to, let's see, where was that at? Gestures right there. So you got all these options for the alert slider, rearranging your buttons, your gestures, and your status bar and your fonts. But let's go into gestures real quick. You can do all kinds of stuff in here. Long press the fingerprint sensor, take a photo, flip the device to mute it. 3-finger screenshot is really cool. I'm not sure if that's just an Android Nougat feature, but it's awesome. Double tap to wake. That's how I usually wake the phone up, because it's easier than pressing a button. But here's the gestures that I was talking about. You could actually draw certain letters and it'll open certain applications on your phone. So in this case, I got the flashlight for a 0, for O. Open the camera with a V, Spotify with an S, draw an M for Amazon, and then this is where I open up GPS with a W. So let's check that out real quick. So if I do an O, flashlight comes on, see it, draw it again, flashlight turns off, draw an S for Spotify, look how fast that is. M for Amazon, it's actually a little bit slower than normal because I'm on airplane mode, I guess. It didn't like that. Get rid of all these apps. And what else did I have? Waze. So W for Waze. So very convenient, really cool. Again, I'm on airplane mode because I don't want all my notifications popping up on the screen. So the gestures are awesome. Okay, another thing I like about this phone is the camera. Now the camera you can activate many different ways, either by hitting the icon there, and on the OnePlus 5 you can double tap to open it up, take a picture, pretty quick. But so far no problems, selfies are good. I've been using this for vlogging, I've been using this for my food reviews, no problem at all, camera's good. Okay, the next thing I like about this phone is the battery life. Okay, you can see right now it's 9 o'clock at night. I've been up since around 8 o'clock this morning, so it's about 13 hours. And look at the battery life. Look at that, 50% left. Okay, and I'm not a super power user, but I am on the phone all day getting text messages, watching video, Facebook, whatever, social media, checking out Amazon, you know, a basic user but not a super power user. But look, I got 50% left and it's already 9 o'clock at night. So the battery life is insane. The next thing I like about this phone is the headphone jack, just because it has one. All right, got a headphone jack right here. Let's see if you can see it in the camera. It's definitely there, it's right there. The lighting's not too good. But the fact that they kept a headphone jack is awesome. Now I could plug in my old headphones, no problem at all. All right, the next thing I like is the button positioning. Now, this might not be a big thing for most people, but as you can see on this phone, you got the volume up and down right here, your alert slider is up at the top right here, and on the other side, the power button is right here. It's about 60% away, 60% up on the phone. What I like about this is if you have a car mount or a mount on your tripod and you try to attach it here, if you got these buttons in the way, it's going to kind of mess around with your switches. So I like these buttons out of the way up top on the top end of the phone. My Moto X had the buttons pretty close to the middle, so you know I had to always clamp the thing at the bottom. And the last thing I like about this phone is the dash charge. Now with my Moto X, also had fast charge on that, pretty quick. This one is actually much quicker. A lot of phones right now still don't have quick charge. This phone does. All right, with any phone too, there's gonna be things that I don't like. As good as this phone is for 500 bucks, there's gonna be some things I don't like about this phone. All right, number one, the do not disturb. Now, a lot of people like this alert slider right here. You can see it. You can toggle it between the ring. Oh, turn it back on. Toggle between the ring and do not disturb. And if you slide it all the way up, it's gonna be silent vibrate. All right, and that's a cool feature. You know, at night you could turn it to do not disturb, and go to bed. But so on a regular Android phone, you can schedule it. So if you want the thing to turn off, go to do not disturb at 10 o'clock at night, you can go in there and adjust it and it'll automatically switch you in there. But now you got to actually manually activate it with the slider. Very similar to the iPhones. So that's just something I don't like. If you don't really care about do not disturb, it's not going to matter to you. All right, the next thing I don't like, and this is kind of petty too, this is kind of ticky-tack, but it's the desktop folders. So as you can see here, as I've grouped all my icons together, all my apps together in different folders, when I click on them, like say I'm clicking on this one, it actually opens up at the bottom left of the display. And that's not something that's really intuitive, especially if you're using one hand. You know, most of like I said, I'm used to my Moto X where you click on the icon and the bubble opens up right in front of where I clicked. But now everything kind of scoots down to the bottom left and all the apps are displayed like this. So if you're using one hand and say you want to try to hit the banks, now you got to reach your thumb down here if you can reach, and maybe it's over here, it's harder to reach. Okay, so it's ticky-tack, I think. That's the wrong one. It's kind of ticky-tack, but you know, it is something that I wish they would fix. Maybe they'll fix that in the next software upgrade. All right, the next thing I don't like is the downward firing single speaker. All right, you can't see it right here. I'm not sure if you can see it, but you have a downward firing speaker. It's right here. Now, it's pretty loud for a downward firing speaker. It's not going to be as loud as the Samsung, the S8, or anything like that. Any of the other down firing speakers that are on the top tier phones, they're going to be a little bit louder than this one. But it sounds, you know, the quality is good, But the problem is you can easily mute that thing by just covering it up with your hand. Okay, so that's a feature I don't like. Now again, going back to my Moto X, my Moto X had speakers on the bottom here and the top. And so the sound was really good, especially when you just lay it down like this, and there's a less chance you can cover it up accidentally, like say when you're watching videos. Right, I've done that already where I got my fingers right here and I cover up the speaker. All right, now the last thing I'm going to say that I don't like is that if you don't have a case on this thing, you can see right here, not much of a fingerprint magnet, but the phone is pretty slippery. For a phone that's not glass back, this phone is very slippery. So you got to put a case on this thing or you will drop it. Okay, I haven't dropped it yet. You know, I bought this phone, immediately had a case for it. We'll talk about that in a sec too. Overall, this phone is a major thumbs up. All right, I've had this thing for over a month and it hasn't lagged on me yet. It actually thinks, sometimes it thinks faster than me. That's one of the things I'm looking for when I'm rating a phone is, can it possibly think faster than me? And sometimes when I'm clicking on it, I mean, it's super fast. Again, no lag. Look how fast this is, you know, punching up just all kinds of stuff, looking at Google. I mean, it is super fast. Now, one thing I want to tell you guys before you go out and buy this phone is know that you're going to get some things with your purchase. Okay, I didn't know, I didn't read the descriptions, but this phone does come with a case. All right, so let's show you, I'll show you the case right now. Comes with one of these gel skin cases. All right, it's kind of like a smoke finish. It's not clear. You know, it's really flexible. It's got all the cutouts here. Cutout for your alert slider, power button, volume up and down, cutouts down here, and nothing up here. All right, so I'll slap it on and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, simple, minimal case. It does have a little shine to it, so it makes it kind of look wet. Let me get a rag so you can see what it looks like for real. Look at that. Look at that shine. Makes it look kind of wet. So this case is pretty decent. It's got a little bit of razivity on the top, around the edges, so you can set it down like this on the table. Okay, but here's the thing I don't like about this case, and I got another case to show you too. But the front side is good enough protection all the way around. But the back side right here with the cameras, when you lay that down on the table, the camera actually rests on the table. So if you don't want the camera to touch the table when you got it face up like this, then this is probably not the case you want to rock when you're going out to dinner or whatever. All right, but otherwise, this is a really nice case. Like I said, you put it down like this, it's going to have a lot of shine. It's going to kind of look good. There you go. You can see that shine right there. See if that blinds you a little bit. All right, so that's this case, and it does come with it. All right, another thing that this comes with is a screen protector. It's built in, factory installed. You kind of see it right there. It's one of those thin film ones. It's got good response to it, but it's not glass. So in case you were just looking to get a screen protector for this phone, it already comes with one. So in case you, like me, I went ahead and bought one of these beforehand, glass screen protector, tempered glass. When I got the phone, I was like, okay, now I don't need this, right? So save you some money. If you're okay with just a film screen protector, don't buy one of these. All right, same thing with the case. I didn't know it came with a case. I went out and bought one. All right, so let me show you the other case I got. All right, so here's the other case that I got for the OnePlus 5. I know there's not a whole lot of cases out there. This one is called the Vinve Slim Thin Carbon Fiber TPU Shock Absorption. I guess it's Vinve is the name of the company, right? Kind of a, never heard of them before. It's got the carbon fiber, the fake carbon fiber on the top and the bottom. Nice finish, no fingerprints on this one. It's got a little pattern in here for shock absorption. And it's got all the cutouts, slider, buttons, cutouts, good to go. So slap this in here. Pretty easy to slap in. All right, it's got a little bit of razivity on the top again, so you can actually put it on the table like this, no worries. And this one has a little bit of razivity on the top. You can kind of see this, see how the edge, let me try to get this to focus here. It's got a little edge right there, a little edge right here. So when you lay it down on the table, the camera hump is not sitting on the table. Alright, so I do like this case better than the one that came with the phone. But again, there's another gripe that I have about this as well. So everything's cool, feels good in the hands, and everything like that. Full protection. The only problem I have with this thing is the cutout for the alert slider. Now there is a cutout right here, but it's kind of deep. They kind of made the cutout a little too deep. So when you try to adjust the slider, you got to actually put a little bit of oomph behind it, put a little bit of muscle behind it, because you got to really get in there. See, I'm pushing pretty hard. Now I'm able to change it. But it's much harder to do this with this case on than it is with the other case. Okay, but that's my only gripe. Only got to do that once a day, so that's not a big deal. All right, this case was, I think it was $8. I'll put the link on the description as well. But this one's a good everyday case. You guys got more cases, put them in the description and I'll check them out too. In summary, this is the best phone you can get for $500. Now I was looking at the LG V6 before this, and I kept doing research on it, kept doing research on the OnePlus. This phone is better, I believe. Now the OnePlus 5T does not have wireless charging, it's not waterproof, and it doesn't have always on display. But if you don't care about those things, this phone's the best buy for you. Now if you are accident prone, and you drop your phone in the water all the time, probably get the G6. But for the money, for the features, the speed, the processor, this phone's a major win. This is Rob with Wonstar Reviews. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please comment, subscribe, and ultimately share with your friends and family. Stay safe, God bless you, and we'll see you at the next review.